Just remember that you have to mute it again.
Ah.
Every record you beat, we will be following you. Every single jump, every trophy won, every wicket break, every breakaway.
I want to type you clearly didn't search for, but maybe that's rude.
Every pit stop, every loss, every victory, every single sport, we will be watching.
Welcome inside the locker room.
And a good morning to you, Lagos. You're tuned in and listening to Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Folu.
Right now, it's 16 minutes gone past 8, so we are officially inside the locker room 981. Joining us this morning, we've got Tega Onojaife, also known as Tega Supreme.
Good morning.
Excellent.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes,
Oh,
we've
Tega's
all
happy
been singing
today.
those prayers. We're all happy, Valentine. Come on, see how we woke up this morning. We
Yeah.
spoke about it.
We woke up
Don't
like
front. Don't front. We're excited. I was sure you're excited as well. So we're going to give you a rundown of the week's sporting stories. So make sure you stick with us through this and send in your questions and comments right now. 0809 444 0981 is a WhatsApp number that you can send a message to. We can't actually take calls on that number, so it's a waste of time trying to call it. But you can tweet at us. Just use the hashtag lockerroom981. And know that we're also streaming live on YouTube. Excuse me, I had a frog in my throat, but let's get on to it. I love that Rohr is speaking out about the Super Eagles match. He says, we're not here to see Seychelles beaches. I know he didn't say it that way, but I believe he's becoming very Nigerian by such phrases.
Yeah.
So he basically has charged his players to put up their best and make sure they secure a win over the host Seychelles for tomorrow's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier in Victoria. He says everyone realizes the importance of this match. We're currently number 3 in our group, and that position does not befit the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's not good for us because it is outside the qualification range, and the players know this. They know that on Saturday they have to show character to put our campaign back on track with a good result. We are not here on vacation. We are here for serious business. Tega, this is the most Nigerian speech
Would you not
this
come
man
to
has
play?
ever. Like, he's clearly so influenced by what's going on in that
No,
country.
but he took the guy. Look, see the pictures I see out of there with the players and all. You see them on the beach,
Shopping
shorts
life.
rolled up. It's a nice
Shopping
country.
life.
There's no way you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country, and you want to explore nature. So he's like, just know that we came here to play football. Whatever you do, you can dip your leg in the sea and then get on the pitch and give me my goals. That's just what he wants. But it is serious business, and yes, I keep saying it. This looks like a country that on a normal day we should easily beat. A colleague of mine who is there said the assistant coach of the Seychelles team,
Yes.
his students were harassing him that how many goals do you think you're going to concede
they're
against
hand-
Nigeria?
And they're handing him bags.
Just
I said, take this
grab-
back to pack all the goals that
Pack all the
Nigerians will
goals.
score.
It's just
So
ridiculous.
rude.
So it's a country that even the country knows Nigeria should beat us. But I think with this kind of games, you should approach it with the seriousness of, even if it's not for the result for Seychelles itself, how would we structure a game? How do we pace, carry the momentum, and the different waves that we would have experienced during the game? How do we plan our match when we approach it? I think all those things will be involved. Who has a better chemistry with who? What player is better suited to play in a particular position? I think it's all those other things that he also needs to use his game to look at. But most importantly, he needs to get the 3 points.
Yes, it is.
The 3
It does.
points
Better.
is all that he
Better,
needs.
because I think this is part of Seychelles pre-game strategy. They're like, let them be relaxed. Have you offered them more refreshments? Offer them more. Show them the
We'll show
other
them.
beaches.
Yeah.
Show them the other ones,
That's
the
how you
nice
get
ones.
distracted.
Take them to the islands.
So I guess he just has that in mind, because the country, yes, if you just look at the beauty, you can get carried away.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk about this other Golden Eaglets. Now, Nigeria Golden Eaglets are the under-17 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifiers in Niamey, Niger Republic, posted a 5-1 win over Cote d'Ivoire's Baby Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire yesterday to improve their chances of reaching the final tournament slated for Tanzania next year. The team now waits till weekend when Burkina Faso tackle Cote d'Ivoire to know whether they finished top of Group B or runners-up.
Yeah, first game, Burkina Faso beat Nigeria by 3 goals to 2. It was a tough one. Nigeria was always playing catch up. Considering what had happened from the very get-go, Nigeria always played catch up. And then when they scored the equalizer at 2-all, it did look like they were going to go and get a third. But I think in their pursuit of trying to win the game, they left themselves exposed in defense, and Burkina Faso had that chance and they scored that goal. So it was they didn't start on a good foot, but yesterday was actually fantastic. From the minute they got on the pitch, it was like, you people are going down today, and that's exactly how they executed it. So they're not a bad team, but I think that sometimes they can lose concentration, and it's a young team, so I guess you have to expect those kind of things. They made a mistake in the first game, they've recovered in the second game. Let's see how it works out for them long term.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that.
Okay, more stories to get through. Serena Williams has another shot at winning after defeating Latvia's Anastasia Sevastova in 66 minutes in their US Open semi-final. So the 36-year-old will play Japan's Naomi Osaka in Saturday's final after the 20th seed beat Madison Keys. Well, Serena says, every day I step out on this court and I'm so grateful to have an opportunity to play this sport. So no matter what happens in any match, I feel already like I've already won. This is just the beginning. I'm only a few months in and really looking forward to the rest of the year and next year, Williams added.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but she generally at this US Open she's looked to have a slow start, and I think she's still nervous when she steps on court. Like, how is it going to be? Is it going to be
unsure of
herself. Is it going to be a good day today, or am I going to? So sometimes she looks like she's forcing the issue. Then sometimes she looks like she's calming herself down, and then she's too calm. In this game against Sevastova, that's exactly how she started. Her very first game, she was broken. So from then on, it looked like an uphill task, because she thought she'd break back immediately. She didn't, and she didn't break back until the fourth game of the first set. But the minute she got that one, she just stepped on the accelerator, and there was no looking back. So she took the first set, and the second set she bageled Sevastova. How do you bagel somebody in the semifinals? I don't understand it. So that's the third time in this tournament alone she's bageled somebody.
Yeah.
So she's going to be facing a Naomi Osaka, who is also a big hitter but also gets good court coverage. And Naomi Osaka is a young girl with no expectations. She's like, I have nothing to lose. That's how she approaches matches.
Gonna put it all on the line.
Yeah. Madison Keys, for me, she always gets just about there, but the problem with her is that she struggles when she meets big hitters. And Naomi Osaka is a big hitter, because Madison Keys also hits big on her serves, on her ground strokes. The problem is that's all she has. So when she meets somebody that equally hits big, there's no added advantage. So it's a question of who is going to hit bigger on the day. And on the day, Naomi Osaka just has that extra weight. Sometimes she changes it up, so she's a bit more versatile than Madison Keys, who is about making all those big shots. And that's where Madison Keys, I think, struggles to just make that extra. She's gotten to the finals of a Grand Slam before, and she still fell short to a Sloane Stephens that doesn't even move as much around the court, all because Sloane Stephens just out-hit her. So I think that's where her struggle is. But now Osaka is going to approach this game like, yeah, I know you're Serena Williams, but I expect to be beaten by you, so I'm going to give my all.
I
So
might as well shoot my
yeah,
shot.
so Serena should. I think that's what Serena should be worried about. The fact that the girl has no resume.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah. And so Serena is now chasing. If she wins this US Open, then she has the highest number of US Open titles in the Open era. She tops Chris Evert, and then she'll equal the number of Grand Slam titles with Margaret Court if she wins. So she's chasing two records with one final match, and she has to put her all in it.
All right. So let's talk about the big fish. A Nike ad featuring Colin Kaepernick aired during the third quarter of Thursday's NFL season opener, a game between the defending champions Philadelphia Eagles and Atlanta Falcons that was televised nationally on NBC. Now, the 90-second ad showed a variety of athletes, including the tennis star Serena Williams, and it ended with a slogan, "It's only crazy until you do it. Just do it." Kaepernick, who provided the voiceover for the ad and appeared toward the end of it, has been out of the NFL. The National Association of Police Organizations also called for a boycott of Nike over its support for the former Super Bowl participant, who has actually over time emphasized his opposition to police brutality. And the National Fraternity Order of Police condemned the campaign. The National Black Police Association, on the other hand, said in a statement that it believes that Mr. Kaepernick's stance is in direct alignment with what law enforcement stands for: the protection of the people, their human rights, their dignity, their safety, and their rights as American citizens. And other police officers have previously rallied in his support.
I'm telling you, the black
white.
police officer is just saying, the black police officers are saying, look, he's standing for us. The other police officers are like, nah, he's not. But all in all, what this advert has done is that in the past few days, Colin Kaepernick and the brand have just been in the face of everybody.
Yeah.
They've made it. To imagine that Colin Kaepernick couldn't find a team to sign him on, and then he's at the opener of the NFL season.
Imagine that.
Like
Imagine that.
it wasn't just his voice; he had to step out at the end.
Yeah.
It was
Like a boss.
It was crazy. But at the end of the day, he still has that case. He still wants to play. This is just trying to get the NFL. Now you've put the NFL on notice, because what it is that the brand supplies their uniforms.
Exactly.
And the brand has now taken him as the ambassador. At some point in time, we are going to say, okay, you know what? He's not the worst quarterback I've seen in my life.
So bring it in.
So try to do something to at least to settle the lawsuits. But it's interesting that some people are now warming up to it. I hope eventually that everything will die down. But they're both people, Kaepernick and Brand, they're riding on this week.
He's all right. He'll be good. He'll be good. He's more than an athlete now. Hashtag. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we carry on with more sports stories. It's The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. All right, guys. I'm so sad. We didn't. In other news, Burt Reynolds died.
Oh yeah,
That's major.
died yesterday.
That's major. That should have been our
That was
other
breaking
news.
news.
Yeah, that should have. Like, why wasn't that our other news? Because I just saw. I was like, Ryan Reynolds posted. I was like, what the fuck? That's huge, yo. Especially for our most listener base.
Yeah.
What I need is somewhere to sleep.
That's right.
So the ads these days, I don't know where.
Just not good.
Where's so the ideologist comes from.
Nutritious and tasty breakfast.
see.
Get your kids charged up for school.
Listen, they're like these bulbs. You didn't hear it?
They're like bulbs.
Who's bulbs?
Bulbs, not light bulbs.
Oh,
Yeah, they're for me.
They're like these bulbs.
deeper
that
life
said,
is
I'm gonna
coming.
build-
It's coming.
Yeah.
They want to catch people like you.
They have evolved, have they?
Not necessarily.
Modern
They still
times.
think you go to hell if you wear earring.
Oh wow.
Some things can't be changed. The more things change, the more they remain the same.
I'm just a bit distressed. They're like these bulbs.
I'ma build my crib. It took me a while to really figure that out.
I'm just distressed.
We'll see you there, right?
Yeah.
Go. As it. What? My friend. Tega, don't talk too much.
Good money.
Abi, they could pay their money. I'm a build my. It's just now that the advert.
Yeah, it's hitting
because
you.
I don't-
That's what I was like. I'm like these
It
bulbs.
was
I
only
just want
that-
to
it
know
was
what
only that
bulbs. Because
pointed
the
out that
adverts
part
always
of
stress
this
me
bulb.
out.
Yes,
But it's like I'm like these bulbs.
please.
What's bulbs?
Little lights.
Boy, Bob, Bob.
Bulbs.
Bobs. You know.
It's
There's a
a
lot.
them fancy.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot
I'm
going
gonna
in.
build my house on the sand. I build my crib. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build my crib on the
It
sand.
begins every evening as the sun sets.
Oh, it's true.
Shopkeepers quickly lock up. Children hurry to finish homework.
But,
And life
can I just say that this Williams guy
It's actually raining.
is super light skinned in real life.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't photograph. Like he was at AMBCA's, and I had to go meet him. I was like, by the way, I'm a big fan of what you do, even philanthropically.
I don't know who he is.
He's a comedian, but he's also a big giver. Like he picks kids up off the street. Like he's really genuinely proactive. Like
for good.
He's a good human being. It's really cool to see. So I just went to go meet him, but I was like, first, for like 2 seconds, I almost wasn't sure that it was him.
Oh, it's too
He's
late.
pale.
Wow.
Yeah. He's pale. He just photographs dark. He's not.
Maybe his
not.
undertones are dark.
No, but it's like when I was telling you about what's her face. Do you remember when you were like, oh no, that she's getting lighter? I'm like, no. In real life, she's
No. She's getting darker. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, are you saying she's getting darker?
Darker,
'Cause I'm
yes.
like,
Because I'm saying that that's what I'm saying. They're using that spray tan. 'Cause
no,
she's
not
getting darker.
Kardashian. Weruche.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Studio. And we are back in. We're talking sports inside the locker room here on Smooth 98.1. It's with Valentine.
And Folu.
And we've got Tega. Yes. Okay, we've got a few stories that are coming in, or a few messages coming in before we go back to our stories. This one is in from Fola. Fola says, Serena, my queen, my superwoman. She did not even come to play at all. And I really hope that she wins and doesn't do that thing that she did at Wimbledon. It's okay now. She'll do her best. While Henry says, hi, Folu, Val, Tega. Serena versus Naomi. Well, Serena should wipe Naomi from New York to Osaka. But please, Serena, no forehand, I beg. Number 24 loading. He says, interesting. And Goodwill Iyomu from Ojodu says, Serena cannot afford to have a slow start against Naomi Osaka. She's not going to respect Serena. I just have some fears for Serena as she's chases to break records. I will be too tense to watch the match. Osaka is young and very confident. I know if I can watch it. I think I'll just wait for the result. Just tell me the result.
I'll watch it for the sounds, for the grunts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We carry on though. More sports stories. Goalkeeper Alphonse Areola enjoyed a fantastic debut as World Cup winners France drew 0-0 with Germany in their UEFA Nations League Group A1 opener on Thursday. So the Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper denied Marco Reus and Mats Hummels and Thomas Müller in the second half before brilliantly saving from Matthias Ginter. But the visitors managed to hold out to frustrate Germany, who still would be encouraged by elements of their performance after a disappointing summer when they were knocked out in the group stages of the World Cup. That was just so much.
Yeah,
So
but yesterday's game, it just goes to show what I said. They'd be all right. They'd recover. I can't be pitying them. They are one country that will lose and then come back and win. So it was good that France got something else since 1998. I mean, the child that they gave birth to in 1998 is a full adult now and earning millions. So the least they can do is let somebody else win. But it was an interesting one to see, and because of the way the UEFA Nations League is, a few more people came out than would have come out if you were just the friendly. And the approach to the game was totally different. There was more bites because they knew that this was important. But what it was, in as much as there were saves, what it did was that it showed France that they had other options. I would have also loved to see Germany give Ter Stegen an opportunity to play. Why always using Manuel Neuer? There's no point. We already know he is a good goalkeeper. Use somebody else. And that's what France did. They didn't go with Hugo Lloris. They went with their young goalkeeper, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I've always known Areola was good, but on the day, sometimes you get into those big match situation,
And it
losing.
really comes to-
And I know, some of those shots came from a long way off, so it looked like he had enough time to see it coming and then save it. But some of them were on the back of a rebound of something. So that instinct to either go down quickly or leap up quickly was another ability you look at a goalkeeper and say, or in a goalkeeper and say, okay, he's good. But I still think that there's one or two things off with Germany. And yes, people, it's not Leroy Sané. He obviously sits on the bench for good reason. I'm sorry. But all in all, it was a better display than what they had at the World Cup. So let's see how the UEFA Nations League progresses from here. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I mean, people came out to play their best, but I mean, still looked a bit like a friendly. Because some players do not want to just enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
They don't want to put themselves on the line.
Roberto Mancini says he will be emotional when Italy face Poland in the stadium where he debuted as a player. The Italians face Poland on Friday night. That's the night in both sides of UEFA Nations League openers. In a statement, Mancini said, "When I made my debut here at 16 years old, I was very emotional. Tomorrow it will be the first official game with the national team, and it'll be another great emotion. It's always a special feeling leading out the lads for the first time competitively. I already know the 23-man squad and the starting lineup, but I'll tell the lads beforehand.
Yeah, I think this is another interesting match for Italy, having not made it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
And they play in a group that everybody else, Portugal, Croatia, went to the World Cup. So they're trying to rebuild, and that's what it is. I want to see what his starting 11 would be. I hope no old players, because what Italy really needed was restructuring.
Yes.
Get a few new names in there. So let's see how that works out for him. But it must be a great feeling. Mancini has come a long way from being striker in Italy to now being a top coach for Italy. So let's see how Italy pans out against Poland. Again, you know, Poland can be very well structured, and they have one of the most lethal strikers in Lewandowski on their team. So let's see if their defense holds up, number one, and then if they're able to create a few chances, because again, that was another part of the problem. They couldn't create enough chances to get goal scoring opportunities. So this is a good test for them to start with. Next up is stagnant Portugal.
Wow. So harsh. Okay, so Benteke and Fellaini have withdrawn from the Belgium squad with injuries, according to head coach Roberto Martinez. And speaking of Belgium's opening Nations League match against Scotland on Friday, Martinez said Christian Benteke has got a bit of a sore knee and the medical experts are working together, while Fellaini had a little pain in his back and the Manchester United medical department are taking over him. He's going to miss the 2 games.
Yeah, so he's got, both of them have gone back to their different clubs. What it is from Benteke, he's not, if you ask me, he's not crucial. He was not a crucial part of the team. He was not a key member of the team. I think Fellaini's loss would be more important because he did play a big role, especially even during the World Cup games, regardless of what some Manchester United fans would think of him. He did play a key role, and so they don't have that option now. He's gone back to his club. But what they do have is that Eden Hazard he didn't train with the team because they are still trying to manage his fitness, but he'll be available to play. Okay. On game day, and that's what it is. So they'll have their trickster back in the squad, and hopefully Lukaku will be in a better form to score his chances that he gets, and Belgium will see how they take it from there. But what they're trying to do is build on the momentum that they had at the World Cup. Let's see how we can start the Nations League in Europe, and let's see how we can dominate in Europe. If they can do that, then I'm sure they will consider this their outing a beautiful one. But it doesn't make any sense to go from the high, finishing third at the World Cup, to start with a draw or a loss, because a lot of teams are drawing, but they will not want to start with a draw or a loss. Yeah.
Shay sent in a message on WhatsApp. Says Serena won't fall handle. She'll beat that girl and Tokyo will bend. Tega, please send WhatsApp message to Rohr that he should not beat Seychelles too much, like 6-1. It's manageable, Sha. My people, please, where is DeLong? Has he defected to another ministry?
He's planning how he wants to respond to FIFA. Leave him alone. He's working on it.
Solomon from Ikorodu says, I'm rooting for Serena.
Okay, we see you. While we've got this one, Orexty from Shango says, UEFA Nations League will always lack that competitiveness as far as it is played in between the season across the European League. Interesting if that's your take. While It Dozier Jerry says, my darling Serena Williams, I'm proud of you. Naomi go chop came for this fine
I like
put a fine picture of Serena waving her hand up like a queen.
I
like the way you're thinking, because Naomi can, she's a banana skin. You just
Rexy carries on saying that, listen, not every David defeats his Goliath. If the Super Eagles fails to beat Seychelles, Rohr should not return to Nigeria. It will not be his fault that time if that should happen. Don't be angry. All right, let's see if we can take a very quick break, and then when we come back, we will be taking in a final story from sport this morning in the locker room. Remember to get in your comments to us using the hashtag LockerRoom981 on Twitter, and of course by sending any extra messages into us on our WhatsApp number.
Yes, that number is 0809-444-0981.
This is good.
Cool.
Okay, so we have Jordan Pickford. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Let me see this.
No messages here.
Okay, it will come at the bottom of it.
Yeah, it'll be here.
Yeah.
Maybe in this space. Like if I shrunk, hang on. If I shrink this, it'll be here, but it's not.
It's actually very heavy.
Yeah, it's raining for
Yeah.
rain. Apparently the rain is not smiling outside.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going somewhere immediately.
Cancel it.
Just,
There goes your answer.
just think about your movement well.
Oh my god.
Is it a mandatory movement? My sister, if it's not a mandatory movement, just
I'm supposed to
perhaps you hold yourself.
I'm supposed to work in an office and then wait there till the day.
I really need to understand this. Maybe there's a research paper on it. Why do people yawn when, like, contagious yawn?
No, just a contagion thing. There is research on this. They don't know. That's the answer to the research. It's just a
Because
contagion.
yeah, I've seen people do many different things. You yawn because you're reacting.
They don't actually know. It's just
Different people have done papers on. They'll be alright.
yeah. The summary is we don't know. But we don't like to say we don't know. We know it's facts.
Now also available for just 18 naira.
Perfectly.
The other one says like smiling. When you smile at someone, the person else.
Smiling is also contagious.
Yeah.
You have to deliberately. When
Yeah.
somebody smiles at you, it's only if you deliberately don't want to smile.
That
And it's a
naturally,
conscious
yeah.
effort, but naturally you smile.
You smile back. So,
Yeah.
Usually the smile is
so I saw
genuine.
one person that said that yawning is like smiling.
No,
so,
you don't even have to know that the smile is genuine. For example,
Yeah,
when I
the
look, I
smile
used to
is
do it
not-
a
yeah.
lot as a child, and I even do it a bit as an adult because I'm mad. But I just look through windows, and someone looks at me, and
And
immediately
the person smiles back. Yeah,
they don't know.
They're not even sure.
Yeah.
they're not sure
But
why.
they do.
Yeah.
Studio. Opa, welcome. We're talking sports inside the locker room this morning. We have gone through quite a few sports stories. Do know that we're up streaming live on YouTube, so you can go there to catch our smiling faces, smiling way back. Yeah, we see you guys. Thank you. And of course, send us messages as well to our WhatsApp number. It's 0809 444 0981, and tweet at us using the hashtag lockerroom981.
England number one, Jordan Pickford, insists that he would not take the sort of risk which left Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson Becker red-faced. In his words, the quality of goalkeepers is very good. You have to be good at using your feet, he said, ahead of England's Nations League clash against Spain on Saturday. That's tomorrow. It's something I'm good at, something I'll keep practicing. The new manager at Everton, Marco Silva, is big on it as well, playing out. It's all about decision making, doing it at the right time, and I never put myself in too much risk. Asked if he had ever had a moment like Alisson suffered at the King Power Stadium, Pickford replied, I try not to do tricks because I do not want to be caught with it. It's a risk. If it comes off, it looks good, and if it doesn't, it's a style of play that I think it's the way really that Liverpool want to play as well. You've got to give that one where mistakes will happen, and it's not about it's about not making the next one.
I think first of all, I think the press cornered Pickford into saying this thing about Alisson.
Yeah.
But I also think that there was no need for him to sit on it.
Well, I mean, but he
You
was
know,
clearly
look,
stating that he doesn't like making
Wh-
mistakes or trying something that he's not used
he kept going on, and then there was even a part at the end of the comment where he kept saying that you have to remember you're a goalkeeper, not a number 10 player. Look, let the bird fly over, let it not sit in your head. Don't let it build the nest, because that's what he did. He's called a colleague out. When he makes a mistake, he'd be on his own.
Exactly.
And that's what happens. Because even when Simon Mignolet made that mistake for Liverpool in the Champions League finals, there were different goalkeepers that came out and say, "Oh, we've all made several mistakes," and they even some of them put up videos, like Iker Casillas put up videos of his blunders when he was in his peak. And so you want that kind of support, but when you keep hounding on the mistake the goalkeeper made, I don't make those kind of mistakes, I don't do those kind of things, we are waiting for you in front. It is the day after you said it that you will now make the mistake.
What if he refused to say anything?
Yeah, but no, he could have answered the question once. Oh, that it's something that they're trying to work on, and leave it at that. You keep
nervous.
expanding it, and calling people's name and be saying they're playing like number 10. They'll wait for you in front. Fortunate for him, England is not one of those teams that play out from the back like other teams would. But they face a tough test against Luis Enrique's Spain on Saturday in the UEFA Nations League. So that's a struggle for them already. The Spanish know how to create a lot of chances, and hopefully this time under Luis Enrique, they learn how to score. I think they were pretty much good under Lopetegui, but I mean, because he was fired just before the World Cup, maybe that's part of the reason why they had the kind of outing that they did. So I think that Spain can get a few goals if England's defense is not solid. But England also performs well in games like this. So it's an interesting matchup to see how England's hard work and solidity and grit will stand up to Spain's talent and flair at the end of the day. But it's a good match to test how good they are building on what they did at the World Cup.
Okay.
All right. And on that note, we've pretty much come to the end of Sports Inside the Locker Room for this morning. MI from Akoka says, just do it, Serena, even if you don't wear your catsuit. Ayo from Isolo says, Tega, France didn't win with Loris because he was injured, but good game by the Welsh national team. And Chinwe Nancy says, I wish my Nadal victory in today's semi-finals over Del Potro. It's no longer news that Serena will spank Naomi, but she should have a little mercy and spank her small. Because Naomi started playing tennis because her father encouraged her after watching Serena play. Serena is her idol.
But idols have beaten Serena before.
Yeah.
I used to watch Serena and then they beat her on court.
Disgraceful.
They don't want to do that.
So Rexy says, I would have loved to see Naomi Osaka beat Serena, but the Serena I'm seeing at US Open, Binu gone, she's going to crush anybody stopping her, equaling Margaret Court's record. Henry says, Pickford wants a piece of Hughes signing bonus for Allison. Jealousy is the root of nonsense talk.
Aha.
On that note, I finished, please. Thank you. Continue your chat with Tega up on Twitter. She's at Tega Supreme. And of course, stay with us because Smooth Breakfast continues all the way through till 10 a.m. We're opening up the phone lines, though, for Lagos Talks 981 on a Feel Good Friday. And of course, some great music. Keep listening to Smooth Breakfast.
I'm waiting for international week to be over. All these injured players.
Yeah.